Good day, good day. Um, I want to talk to you with my eyes. Won't do that. But I realize that not everybody's going to get that communication. Um, so I had a psychedelic experience last night. Still have not really slept yet. But this morning, as you can see behind me, was moving furniture, cleaning, dancing, swirling, circling my hips, carrying on, and then it was like, boom, I need to get this out. So I did as much as I could to recall the experience or to log, right, as it was happening. Because this particular one, it combined with your subconscious. So sometimes there are things that you can come out with like a knowing, right? But some of it is still kind of hazy. So um, super dope. I'm still like beaming. But okay, so um, there was a huge dark planet. I won't really say jet black, maybe like more like dark and grays and shadows. Um, but it was a planet with smaller identical ones circulating around the larger one. At times, I'm going to be using what I saw, right, and then the thought that I had behind that. But I noticed that at some certain points of the journey, right, it isn't thought. It's just observation, just witnessing. You know what I'm saying? But my thought was that the planet was Saturn. Just that's the knowing that came with that. And it turned into a jellyfish, and then a mushroom, and then a mushroom cloud, and then a clitoris, and then a penis head, and then a bell. Ding, she's here. What most people are calling, right, God, what I saw is this huge, gigantic jet black woman with a fro. It was like the inside of her was galaxies and universe. Beautiful. Oh, wow. I mean, I just cried because she was just so beautiful. And I remember at one point, I even like hid my face. You know what I'm saying? It was just like too much or something. Like I just was like wow. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my handwriting because at certain points I was just, you know what I'm saying? But she was spewing this energetic light from her eyes, right? So she was in a position, and she was spewing this energetic light from her eyes, two pillars. You know what I'm saying? Not like how they would show you where the light comes out and then it blends there. No, these were two individual pillars. And those pillars were holding up our world. It was a world of projections. And I go to talking about her beauty again, and basically I was crying because she was just so divine. And when I hid my face, she told me, "Do not hide your face, my child." And then she said, "I am you." And then when she said that, I don't know, it was like this huge, like rush of energy and definitely more emotion. Feeling like energy was shifting and moving on the inside of me. Also, out of her vagina poured a very liquid light. You know what I'm saying? Fast. It was like a vast river. So at this point, I ran to the restroom because this particular one can cause you to basically purge. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna avoid quite a bit. So the purging had begun. I went through that process, and then you know what I'm saying, I was finishing up. Which it wasn't that brutal. I mean, some parts of it are like, oh yeah. But like I remember at one point, like as soon as it started, right? Because it's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like it's almost like floating, but needing to walk or move the way you regularly do. So it's extremely frustrating, something like that. But I remember at one point, like I had this thought, like as soon as the purge, I was like, oh, how did I do this? And immediately I was like, you know why. Like, you know, you got to see, you know, you have to peer. And so that went away. And because I feel like a lot of times with these energies, because what I realize is what I'm doing is I'm teaching myself to control the energy, right? Because there are things that are occurring energetically for me off and outside of psychedelic use and anything. So, um, you know what I'm saying? I got, this is my way, I guess, of peering in and dealing with it in portions. So, what was I? Oh, but I remember. Okay, yeah. So once the purging was like over, which is it wasn't even that brutal to me. I mean, I've had in my lifetime a time or two, really, really drunk friends, and the vomiting was much worse. You know what I'm saying? The hangover was much worse. This is like you go through this period, and then when that period is over, you can begin to experience extremely beautiful things. So, I mean, out of my entire experience, me purging is like thing to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I do it again. Like throw up right fucking now, like what it is, just to see some shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, whatever. But I remember. Okay, so at this point, after the purging, I turn around right to use the restroom and I urinate. I use big adult words. I urinate, right? And after I do, I go to wipe, and it's almost like my water broke. And with one of my pregnancies, it was like the water bag didn't completely break, but somehow it was like punctured a little bit. So it's like leakage. You know what I'm saying? And so when I was wiping, it was just like forever wet. Like I was just like, what the fuck? And that's when they were like, yeah, you gotta brush you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? And that it was weird because that was what I was experiencing last night. I was like, I'm gonna burst into a river. That's it. Um, but as I remember, like, okay, so I'm literally sitting on the toilet and I have the bathroom door open. This is like 2, 3 in the morning, so everybody's asleep. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a quiet space, literally. And I have the bathroom door open. I remember looking out the back door, and the really gigantic woman had somehow shrunk herself down to the side which she house, but she was still tall as fuck up against like this back wall right here. And I remember like shaking my head really, really hard. And she like disappeared. Her form was no more. Still feel her. And so in focusing at the space, I began to still see her. And what I noticed was that she was you know what I'm saying? She was popping some type of mystique or octopus camouflage thing. You know what I'm saying? It was just the bending of the light, specific ways why I couldn't see her anymore, but she was definitely still there. And you know what I'm saying, with it being Samhain, am I frozen? Okay, sorry, I was frozen for a minute. But with it being Samhain, the veil is very, very thin. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we'll see something out the corner of our eyes. You didn't imagine it, you're not crazy. There are different layers and levels that exist right here in front of our very eyes. So peering into those can be extremely amazing and freeing. You know what I'm saying? You lose a lot of fear when you begin to jump into an actual knowing, a real knowing that you've lived before many times. So you know what I'm saying? It's like awakening to something. All right, if I have, then there must be something that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we tend to think about our missions as being like a one lifetime thing. When I had my shaman tell me that we are off into a journey that will continue into the next 10,000 years, and I remembered like my mind just like blew the fuck up. how many worlds our mission is deep into. But super dope thought. So, anyways, okay, so all right, the woman, but now I'm back to this fact that I don't know. I'm just like leaking water. And let me be clear, like I'm not pissing on myself. You know what I'm saying? It's not any other issue, because that was just the one time it happened. And from what I've experienced, you know what I'm saying, we definitely have a super connection to elements. And I mean, we bring water all the time from nothing, right? A woman who was squirting, like, wow, who the fuck did all that water just come from? That's crazy. When we cry, right? We just bring water. The ancestors ride in on the water. So if you're moved to cry, if that's the way you feel, that's beautiful. So I remember the thought was, right, because the scent even mimicked it, because I was like, what is this? Right? So the scent even mimicked that fluid that is in, you know what I'm saying, the sac with the baby. It was amazing. And I remember the thought was, yo, I'm pregnant as fuck with spirit. I'm about to birth something or someone. And spirit corrected me and said, you're about to birth many things, many ones. And I smiled. And I just kept saying, I love you. I love you. Like, I don't know, like, yo, like, I I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I don't have human or English words for the beauty and the love, right? That this herb opened me up to see. It's amazing. Um, so sorry, I'm just reading along like as I was going, because like I said, like if I don't write it down, oh, let me get a pen, I think. If I don't write it down, then it's definitely I'm gonna get more organized. But right, I remember at one point I was looking down at the tiles on my floor, and the tiles were breathing. Like I could just literally see them like pulsating. But then when I looked again, it more looked like there was a huge snake underneath it. You know what I'm saying? And that what I was watching was the tiles be displaced from that energy. It was really cool. And then it turned my tile into like water, and I saw like crocodiles in it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting on the edge of the couch or whatever, and just breathing deep, and then I see the floor turn into water, which I've definitely been seeing a lot. I've been explaining definitely to my audience on Facebook that, you know, before I used to say that it was chock full of energy, and I just identified it as being thick and literally palpable with energy. But the more I tapped in and really allowed myself to just be sensitive enough to feel it, it is water. It's literally water. And I can see why they say the energy would have moved like a dragon. You know what I'm saying? Um, but we are legit in water. But when I saw the crocodiles, what was interesting was I didn't move my feet, and I didn't feel fear. And that part I was very pleased with, because sometimes a lot what these herbs will do is your fears will manifest as an animal a lot. So one of my very first psychedelic experiences, when it was done, there was a huge snake that spilled out the top of my head. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you reference Mayan and Toltec dream technology and information, Teotihuacan, like that, they crocodile with red eyes is money. I'm with it. But then, okay, so point from my chest, apparently I'm frozen again. Okay. From my chest, there was this multi-colored glittery ball, right? That was like luminescence. And I remember seeing it just shoot up like into the sky. And it was almost as though my ceiling disappeared, because I saw the sky, you know what I'm saying, at night, the way you see it chock full of stars, like if you're in a place that's away from the city and not a lot of lights. And the glittering ball began to circulate very, very widely, right? And then once it began to circulate, from it began to like it just began to rain down. And it's strange that I wrote this and translated, because when I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, I would guess that these are the only words, you know what I'm saying? But it was love, it was beauty, it was flowers, animals, music, it was love, it was death, it was cycles, it was everything. It was like I was watching a large ass mirror of just experiences from every angle, from the angle of a plant, from the angle of an animal, from the angle of what we call a person, from the angle of the energy itself, from the angle of the sky, from the angle of being love itself. Like, I don't know, it was amazing. But I remember there was a language that came, and I remember at one point, because a lot of times I don't have like a conscious complete understanding or knowing of what I'm saying when the language comes. But I remember at one point I just kept saying Elakash, 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 and I was like, yo, am I in the Akashic records? That's dope as fuck. um but that was what was coming out, and they say, right, that the Akashic records have the record and the information of everything that has ever lived. And that's what it felt like. It felt like this expansive knowing and connection to everything, watching the flower morph into the bird, watching the bird morph into the sky and a cloud, and then the rain, and the rain morphing into the plant again. Like, oh my God. Um, all right. So, okay. Well, I don't have a pen with me, but so I'm just going to show you the drawing that I did that night. But there were four beings. EC, which is like the Igbo pronunciation of Isis, which means source. Isi, Akpaka, Odu, Ezukoro. Those were the names that I called. And then I saw four beings, right? Let me see if you can see that really well. But, okay. So it was as though, right? So this is one being with its arms stretched out and its head there. Another being with its arms stretched out, head there. Another being, arms stretched out. Another being, arms stretched out. And I was in the middle, and they were large, like they were completely gigantic. You know what I'm saying? They were huge. And it's like I was sitting in between their like their legs were just forever huge in the sky, and they were up there, and they were locking hands, and they created like what looked like a four-leaf clover, or like a veve. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's familiar with a veve is like a drawing or a sigil that is basically like an ancestral address. You know what I'm saying? It's different energies that are connected to different veves. Um, and you can use them. So it was interesting to me how much it resembled a veve. There are plenty of veves where I've stated they look like faces to me, always energies with personalities. And I don't know, I think at that point is when I kind of like lost the connection, for the most part, or was beginning to like come out of the brainwave sequence that allows you to see this mind movie right in front of your face. I remember the very first time I did this particular psychedelic. Like I said, she does bind with your subconscious, so there's a lot that you don't recall at first. And so I woke up the next day. This is the first time I did it. I'm explaining. I woke up the next day. You know what I'm saying? I got the children up, ready, out. Went to the store, came back, had a conversation with my dad, ate, was chilling, and was like, nah, nothing much really happened. You know what I'm saying? I saw like some stuff, and my shaman was like, yeah. And then 1 o'clock hits, and I'm talking to him in the middle of me saying, you know what I'm saying? Not really happy. All of a sudden, I was like, ooh, like, because it was like it was like a rush of data, like, all of a sudden. And I wondered how how in the fuck could I have lost that? Like how, like where did the memory go? You know what I'm saying? Like where, how? But right at one point in time, I went to basically the front of my house, and there's a, you know what I'm saying, there's a panel in the door. So during the day you can see light very clearly like this, or at night you can see the street lights. So I remember like the soft like gold kind of glowing, and you know what I'm saying, spinning, 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 spiraling, spiraling. Seeing major water, like the electrical charge of it at first, and then and then there was wind, and not like I was seeing wind, I was feeling wind, and I was hearing wind, like when wind whipping around you, it's like woof, 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 like hitting your skin. Even that portion in the couch where I had it, where I, you know what I'm saying, I had that experience, is still lit energetically. Like when I go past that point, it's like a, I don't know, it's like an energetic anomaly or vortex right there. You know what I mean? The second night I did it the first time, tell me my connection. First time I did it on the second night, I was outside, and at that point, what I saw was a woman, and well, actually, I saw a nebula. It was just all stars, like a starish looking, and there was this bright ball in the middle of her chest. And I don't remember much, but I just remember the feeling, definitely the sensation of like a woman like caressing my head, like a very motherly type, and it was loving, and it seemed as though she was counseling me hours. But it still is extremely intelligent, divinely. And I don't know how many times I've been at the door of something and I'm like, just show me, because I need to know, like I have to know. And I can say that I'm very, very grateful for the way Spirit does things, because there have been certain times where I've been like what I felt was catapulted energetically, you know what I'm saying? And kind of had to hold on to the edge of my sanity. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Because we have been programmed and locked down into certain types of thinking for so long. You've been chasing it. It's one thing to be like, yes, I want to do that. And it's a whole nother thing to watch your fucking leg float in the air. And not like really having control. Just I mean, shit just, you know. So but I have been seeing lately more and more videos of animals, right? Animals, and it's weird. It's they're not walking on their farms. It's literally as though something is projecting them up and forward. And I've been talking about how we create heaven on earth, right? This passage that we heard so much: Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. So what does that mean, right? Why did they put that passage there? Literally, magnetically becomes heaven. It's ecstatic and it's orgasmic, and it's like where am I? It's like being the one child who survives in Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory, and then you get to see pain, and they're so bogged down, and because right, this is all and everything, and look at it from the point of, well, guess what? If I'm strong enough, I can flip that. But the veil is thin. That's what Halloween is really, really about. This is also why they have incorporated the ritual of the children. Actually, there's this constant kind of like ringing and reminder going on. And one thing is bang on holidays, but I need you to understand something. They have not like declared anything and something astrologically, and it is huge. The energy that is coming through is huge, and it is affecting all very differently. Some people are extremely, extremely irritated at this moment. Other people just feel meh. Like you're just in this, I don't know about my connection, but I felt like I had to do this, you know what I'm saying, to hold on to things very tightly. And things, you know what I'm saying, we've got the 4 cardinal directions. Completely trust Spirit. Like, she could lead me and yank me wherever. that wherever it is leading and yanking me to, it's amazing. It's amazing. Um, I don't know. I don't know how even got off. I had by will and by nothing, right? By not being on second, it was into the thought, right? Of just love, of just immense love. And I remember I felt my vibration go up high, and literally your ears will begin to pop. They're in the same space that you are not in the same space. You can't be like you. We know this. We know this. We feel the energies. We may not be translating it this way, but we feel them. But I'm walking down the street and I'm just kind of like in this raindrops keep falling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like gone. I'm walking down the street like I'm in love or something. But I'm not thinking about chakras begin spinning, right? All of them, like at one time. And I'm like, whoa. And the energy is so strong, it like literally shifts my body to the side. I don't know, like some type of locomotive, you know what I'm saying? Like a vehicle. And I remember like you know what I'm saying? I'm observing sensation and what I'm seeing in my mind's eye as it's happening. I'm like, oh, okay. And literally this ray coming out of the subdivision in front of me, and the little boy seeing me, and he was just like, and all of a sudden he just starts beaming and he's waving and I'm beaming too. I'm like, hey, hey. Like, I don't know. I'm excited as fuck. And he's excited as fuck. And his mom is like, hi, but she's looking weird because she's like literally pulling him at this point. She's like, come on. And he's like he's not gonna move until I walk up, period. And he doesn't. And then when I get to him, he shows me his little car. And people are like, I'm like, hey. So now that passage is real, you know what I'm saying? And we can keep explaining, right? And I used to say on my lives a lot before, people are calling God or considering godly is the correct combination of chemicals. These dancers around here, one more motherfucking party, okay? But it's the combination of chemicals, and that correct combination of chemicals, right? Because think about the way you felt like, yo, when you like first fall in love or whatever. In my life, I've never heard somebody say, poor me. I'm so tired because I sudden like your mind is working overtime. They have a problem. Boom. Like you, okay, all right. We pull this and fix this. That shit's supernatural. And that was the doorway I used. You know what I'm saying? For real. For real. Love. So I'm definitely excited about later. I don't think I'm gonna go in again tonight. It was kind of intense, and you know what I'm saying, I like to take the time afterwards to just be, just flow, try to be as present as possible, so that I'm receiving the clues, constantly communicating with us. You know what I'm saying, whether we catch the signals or not. You know what I'm saying? So if we are super bogged down by yesterday, if we are too busy being worried about tomorrow, that's taking up space, like energetically, for real. It's very hard to create from those spaces, and it's hard to see from those spaces. And if you do create from those, you thought about it before, you're downloading the same chemicals, right, that you had downloaded before. And so there you go, round and round we go. You know what I'm saying? My vibration though is raising up so high right now. I just don't fuck around and got high. That's why I look like this. So yeah. So that I'm gonna cut it off right here. I am if anybody is watching this who is my loving audience on Facebook, I gotta give shout outs to them motherfuckers too. So supportive. Holy shit. Like, you guys give me so much love, for real. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I love you too. And but I'm gonna be taking a small fast from Facebook for a while, except for on my Odd Octopus page where I am selling Oregon. generally themed organ and things like that. I'm actually creating an astral travel organ piece for a client, which I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about. Um, so, I mean, that's it. I just wanted to share the beauty of that experience with you, and you know what I'm saying, if it connects or resonates in any way, that there's more than what our physical eyes are showing us. So much more. Oh, and really, the key is our minds and our hearts, you know what I'm saying? And then connecting those two together. So for me, a lot of it was um, what I was in love with when I was a child. You know what I'm saying? All those things were very close and clear to the subconscious. So, you know what I'm saying? I receive a lot of questions. How did you develop this connection? How, you know what I'm saying? How did it get like this? And I chased those things. And I chased them like unabashedly, you know what I'm saying? And proudly shit. Like, this is what it is. It is our own specific personal journey. So can't nobody tell you, because quite honestly, they might not know what your soul has experienced here and how many experiences you've had here. One of my children, I feel like she's damn near as ancient as me. Like, tell she's 6. She don't act 6 at all though. She act like it's a grown ass woman. When she was 2, she was like in bathtub, like literally like shampooing her own head. And I was like, "You gonna do my taxes when you finish?" Like, you know what I'm saying? These are definitely new children. These are ancestral children. These are links coming through. But there's a lot of stuff that I think that people felt like they weren't going to see in our lifetime energetically. And um, we may need to adjust that thought process, because boy, energy is coming through so motherfucking fast and strong that illusions are going to be crashing very soon, like the way you would see a super wave, a wall of water, just all come crashing down. But it is towards something immensely beautiful, though. So I'm going to rest up. I'm going to take a goddess bath with some herbs and assist my body to just kind of, I guess, I don't know, like come back into the what I perceive as a normal energetic pattern, and just be mindful of today. Um, but I don't know. I always enjoy this time though. I always enjoy watching the choices, right, that people dress up in. That's very telltaling about something with them a lot of times. So that was my experience, and I hope, like I said, in any way, shape, or form that it resonates or it assists. And if it doesn't, that's cool too. I'm still showing love. Thank you. Later.